All right, everybody, welcome back to Golf DMV. LB, Vern, yours truly, Claude Jennings. Lots to discuss, so I won't do all the funny jokes and hijinks that I normally do to start the show, all the goofy stuff. We've got to get right down to business, folks. We've got Vern, who just got his new clubs, and he played with his new irons for the first time, and he got his driver back from the golf doctor less than a week after we almost slightly threatened him on the show with where the club's at. I ain't getting no calls on the time. So now, all of a sudden, I'm just going to say this. After he receives just low-key, aggression, I won't say threats, aggression, low-key aggression on the show, all of a sudden the clubs show up and he texts me and it comes good. That's all I'm going to say. We get results, people. Also, Lawrence visits the golf doctor because if you guys remember, we'll set it up when we talk about it. We wanted to see him go through this whole thing to kind of compare this experience to a prior fitting that he had. Speaking of fittings, I'm going to tell you guys why I refuse to do anything golf-related unless John Ross from Golf Tech tells me to do it. I'm making no more decisions on my own, but I'll talk about that a little bit later because I did make a dumb decision with some wedges, and I'll let you guys know about the wedge decision. Is so stupid, but I was emotional. We'll talk about that later. Manny had his another PGA Jr match. We'll talk about that. Speaking of Manny, we've got a Manny Millions update from Valspar, also a Symetra Tour update. We'll talk a little bit also about the LPGA in Singapore and Vern stunting for the non-golfers at Top Golf. And if you can see the video right now, smile on his face, stunning for the golfers. But first, folks, we had a round at Heritage Oaks in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We took for me, it was 2.5 hours, basically. Probably about the same for you guys. We took the 2.5 hour drive down to Harrisonburg to pay Heritage Oaks, invited out to come out to play the course and to do a course review. Right. And so shout out to the folks down there. Thank you so much for having us.
Charlie Fultz, I believe is his name. Let me get his last name right, but his first name is Charlie. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. First name Charlie, last name up for debate, but we will we will figure it out in a second. Well, thank you for inviting us out. Staff couldn't have been nicer. And here's what's interesting. And I can just give my thoughts. Just from the course itself. Beautiful course. I like the course. I won't even say I love the course. I liked it. I mean, great condition. The greens were in great condition. Fairways in great condition. The layout was nice. I mean, the part of Virginia where it's in. I mean, if you just stay true to the natural landscape of the property, you can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean? And it seems like that's what the deal is there. We played from, I think, the blacks, which are close to kind of like what our whole vow is as far as the closest thing to 6,000. And under or over. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not saying this because, all of a sudden I'm some, long drive champ like Vern. I felt like we probably could have played from the tips, to be honest with you. The course just felt like we could have played back from the goals. There were a few holes that would have made it, a stretch. But for the most part, it's like I felt like we could have, and it's not like it would have, it would have helped me at all, obviously.
But it couldn't have hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. But I like the course. Again, if you're from the DMV, you're going to take about a 2.5 hour ride. So one thing we had talked about, guys, was the fact that if you're in town for right near the campus of James Madison. If you're in town for James Madison, whether it's a football game, basketball game, dropping your kids off, alumni weekend or something, and you golf, play that course. If you're going out of town and your family's got a timeshare at Massanutten or something, put that on your agenda. Yeah. And so if you're in that spot, absolutely play. Or if you're planning a quick little weekend overnight getaway, sure, put it on the list. It is from my standpoint, it is definitely Claude Jennings Golf DMV stamp of approval. I'm not going to say like it's a must play. You've got to travel to this. I'm just saying that if you're looking for somewhere to switch up, because we actually ran into a couple that met friends of theirs who are this couple's from Baltimore, and they met friends who live down there, and the friends said, "Hey, why don't you come down here, and play?" That's cool, meeting someone who lives down there to play. Or again, if you're in that area or you're looking for a quick trip somewhere, because I felt like I took a trip. And so if you're looking for a day trip somewhere to play, it's a good for a municipal course. And sometimes munis get these bad raps, but I mean, you look at some of the munis up around here from Enterprise, always in good condition. All the Montgomery County courses are good. Like munis. Yeah. I mean, I don't, so the whole muni thing, I don't know what people put that label on certain spots. But yeah, I thought it was great course. Loved the layout. Fun to play. A few dog legs on some holes made you think a little bit. You know what I mean?
Took the driver out of Vern's hand.
Took the driver out of Vern's hand, and that driver is smoking hot, and we'll get to that in a second. But we'll start with Vern on his thoughts on the course, and then we'll move up to LB.
So, and real quick, it is Fultz. So Charles Fultz, is the director, I believe, out there of that golf course. He,
by the way, Charles, anytime you want to invite us back out there for a free round, feel free to, bro.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about the course every time you let us come.
Exactly. Cool guy. So he reached out to us because he said he was having, I guess he just wanted to get the word out on this, as he put it, beautiful little municipal gym out in Harrisonburg, Virginia, that I guess he's not really packing the tee sheets. He was, just going to just drum up some interest in the course. So I said, I'm sure, so I hit up the boys, said, hey, we're going to make the trip down to Harrisonburg. We got a free round. I did ask them when that morning, I think I asked LB, I rode down with LB, I carpooled down, Claude rode solo. But when we all met up, I said, what do you guys expect? And the expectations were kind of middling, probably just a decent. And I got more than I expected. I thought I would just get a nice, I don't know if Needwood, I don't want to rag on Needwood, but something just kind of okay, cool. It's all level and this is it. And it's manicured and it's in good shape. But it was more interesting than that, especially the back. Especially the back. The back nine was really nice. And I agree with Claude. If you're down, again, it's down JMU, James Madison University. If you're down there for any reason and you play golf, bring your clubs. Go hit up Heritage Oaks. I 100% agree. For those who are from the DMV and get around, I think it compares most favorably to Chaladon. Going to what Claude said about using the natural landscape, the natural topography or whatever to create the course. Chaladon has some of that too, where it seems like it's just like farmland that they built a golf course on, using the rolling hills, really, really soft, nice spongy fairways, greens, maybe a little slower than you used to, but large, generous greens and stuff like that, and everything rolling smooth. Even with the pinhole, I think they had just done the pinhole, the pinhole aeration. Didn't really affect the putts at all. So 100% agree. Like you said, you don't have to necessarily get up one weekend and go down there just for the course, but if you're in the area, you should definitely go play it. And I think Charles is right. He shouldn't have any trouble packing the tee sheets because it's beautiful. It's in great shape.
Yeah, and the price, I think I saw the price in the 30s or something like that
without the cart. I think it's like 35 and I think another 17 or something for the cart.
Right. So yeah, it wasn't expensive.
Ain't bad. Yeah.
It wasn't expensive at all. I enjoyed it too. I was gonna change that. I mean, I enjoyed it. I played like crap, but I enjoyed it. The rough was unforgiving. It was US Open rough. And
there was some spots you didn't want to get into.
Because I got in it on every hole, seemed like. And so I can tell you firsthand, the rough was unforgiving. But it was beautiful. I wish my lawn looked like that rough. I mean, it was a beautiful grass. And that, again, the layout was nice as well. They had some elevation changes in some of the holes. Some of the greens had some undulations in them as well. It was the only thing they need to work on. And when Vern and I was leaving, we talked to the people in this pro shop. Their restaurant right now is closed because of some municipal back and forth, trying to save money and trying to outsource things.
Red tape.
So that's a legal issue that they're working through to get the restaurant open. But that's really the only thing they're missing is some drinks, some libations, and some food. And I think they definitely will have a winner. It was a great course to play. If it was closer, I'd go play it again. But again, so to Claude's point about the being out that way, there are so many things around it that you could actually make it a nice weekend. There are we passed a couple other golf courses. I don't know their conditions, so don't hold us to that. But there were some other golf courses in the area that you could play as well to make it, if you want to make a few rounds out of it.
Right.
And again, attend the JMU event if you're out that way. I definitely give it a thumbs up. It was definitely a nice course, and the people were very nice. Everybody we met was cool. Even other players were calling me sir. So I appreciate that respect for my gray hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. And even the drive was good. Vern and I laughed. I thought I might go to sleep, but we laughed and talked the entire way there and the entire way back.
An easy drive, by the way. I mean, straight down 66, straight down 81, bing bang boom, make a turn you there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's basically what it is.
And to what LB said, for those who are wondering about the clubhouse situation, the restaurant is closed and Heritage Oaks. I know this is out of Charlie's hands and it's a government thing. Get it together, guys. What are you doing? You have this beautiful course there. So for those who don't know, basically I guess someone in the county government wants the golf course to outsource or what was that? Contract out the restaurant, the clubhouse part of it to like a private third party. So that's why it's currently instead of letting the county just run it, just do like that. This is every municipal I've ever been to. They just run their own. You don't have to have it fancy. Get a couple of dogs, some beers.
Exactly.
Hey, keep it simple. Look, exactly. Look at Moco. Don't mess up a good thing. You got a beautiful course. Let your staff run it and keep it moving, man. Don't let that be the thing that discourages people from coming out, man. Come on, get it together. Beautiful course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And by the way,
carts, the carts were the brand new carts. It seemed to be too. Those carts were in really good shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weren't beat down at all. So yeah.
And and by the way, Charlie, if you're having issues getting some folks who are around there on, I mean, email us because maybe we can set up a Zoom call and we can brainstorm with you a little bit on some stuff. And all it's going to cost you is another free round. So for us to give you some, our brains run a mile a minute, and especially when it comes to this stuff, you know what I mean. Yes. And so maybe we could schedule a call with you, bro, if you want to do that, and we can run some ideas because with having, the housing community that's around there. You got the college over there. You've got Massanutten Resort. I mean, there's some stuff you can do. That's all I'm going to say because the rest of it's going to cost you a free round. But we can do it on Zoom. But anyway, so yeah, that's our review of Heritage Oaks, folks. Shout out to Aaron who played with us as well. It was fun having Aaron out. He liked the serial killer line.
He was all good this time, though. He was all good.
It was so much fun. It was fun getting back out there with Aaron. I had fun. I had fun with the homie. So yeah, shout out to him. What made not their debut, but what was in play was Vern's new irons. So
debut. It was debut.
Didn't they debut at Falls Road?
You're right.
Steve Crouppen. We played at Falls Road with Steve Crouppen that Friday, getting some golf. Was it that Friday morning?
Yeah, it was Friday morning.
Yeah.
Look at me doing back-to-back golf days.
I know. Better mark it on the calendar.
Put it on the calendar, ladies and gentlemen. And so, anyway, Falls Road was not, but Falls Road was fun. We had a good time. It was windy. It was super windy. I mean, it was one of the
towards the end.
So, anyway, Vern's Club makes the debut at Heritage Oaks. For those who don't remember, you got fitted for clubs at the Golf Doctor.
Yes, by the Golf Doctor.
Tell people what you got, and they can do. I mean, you can go back to the old episodes if y'all want the details of everything. Yeah. But just a brief of what you got and what you think.
JPX 921 pros with Project X 6.5, I think 6.5 shafts or whatever. That's the numbers, like the stiffness or whatever.
And I'll say this: John Ross told me you got to get you off these Project X shafts, but for you they were perfect. That was funny. For different reasons.
Oh, for yours.
Yeah. No, I don't have the Project X. My old ones
okay. Oh, your old ones did. I got you. Yeah. And I think a half inch shorter. And again, go check out the other episode. We talked about the fitting in detail. But I was so happy to receive these clubs, and the the first couple of shots I hit with them at the range, I mean, just smooth them out there. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and I think it was Glenn. I was talking to Glenn about it. My brother-in-law. He said, something we've all know, right? Like golf is that thing where confidence begets confidence. So when you're that's what these irons are, where as soon as I smooth them out there, and these guys can attest when I played Falls Road, but definitely Heritage Oaks. At no time did I go up for an iron shot. Was I like, all right, I need to tap it? Nope. I was just picking up a couple of practice swings. I'm like, go. I know it's going to do. Yeah. Even if it's off a little bit, I'm not concerned. Right. So much confidence. Just them being, I didn't think the half inch taken off the top being shorter would make that much of a difference. But it did, because I can really, really, really get through the ball without fear of hitting it fat. Again, still got to work on the face control, but and I love the way they sound. They go, what I'm saying? They obviously they go further than my other ones. Sweet spot's bigger. So I just, it's almost like taking a piece of your game that you're worried about 4 phases, right? I always call it the 4 phases of the game: driving, irons, short game, and then actual putting. take one of those phases and just sort of just take the worry out of your head. And you're just like, oh, no, I know what I'm doing there. I got it. We're good to go. That's what this did for me. So I was very excited to game those Friday and Saturday, and I was not disappointed. I would recommend the Golf Doctor to everybody, even with everything you guys heard about us have to get on him. And he called me like at 11th hour to be like, all right, they're ready and everything else. To be fair, the Mizunos apparently they're only manufactured in like 2 places, so it took 8 weeks instead of 6. And he's got so much business. I mean, we've talked about the communication stuff, but
you also got to have him. You also got this new driver. Your driver's in now too.
Picked the driver up today, and I can't wait.
Did you go to the range at all?
No, because so here's what happened. So I go to get it. So Friday I go to get it. I go to get it Friday after the round with you at Falls Road. Jump in there to get it. This is the same day LB went and got his fitting, which we'll talk about next, I guess. Look at me trying to host a show. But no, so I go on Friday. As soon as I walk in, he sees me and he kind of like does his head back like, oh my God. He's like, hey man, hey, listen. He's like, I haven't done it yet. What do you play? Can you come get him tonight? I'll do it. You come back tonight. I'll do it I told him, don't worry about it, bro. I said, you give you the whole weekend. Just can I get it Monday? He said, yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. I said, Monday. So today's Monday. So I walked in there. I walked in there today. He didn't even. He looked at me and he had there was a guy in there getting a fitting. He looks at me, kind of nods at me or whatever, and then goes back to the guy, says some stuff. He's like, hey, can you give me like a minute? And then just goes immediately into his shop. It just proceeds to like fit the club right there. He didn't even say like, hey man, I'm sorry. He just like, he you know what? Let me get this guy done right now. So it took him about maybe 10 or 15 minutes and not even maybe 10, 12 minutes. He came out with the club, I paid, and I was out of there. So he said, wait a day. Yeah, I didn't take it to the range car because he said, wait a day. Let it set. So I'm not going to swing it probably until I hope to get out this Friday. After everything that happened at Top Golf. But are you going to do any range work? Oh yeah. You're talking about like Thursday before? Yeah. I'm gonna go to the range Thursday just see if I can just keep doing what I was doing the other night and at Heritage and at Heritage. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm really excited about everything now, about all golf.
But isn't it so funny how we go through these waves? I was in a wave myself where where I felt like I had worked out driver issues.
Yes.
Because I was, starting the season, the driver's going nice. I mean, we're hitting this thing straight, getting a little more distance than I'm used to. And now after the last 2 rounds, I'm like, I don't know anything anymore. I have, and what I hate is you're on the driving range and it feels great. Yeah, and everything is in its target practice. And then you get out on the course and the first few holes are and then the next thing you know, things fall off the wheels. It's not the same thing. It's like Vern said, like I feel real comfortable with my irons to even when I hit a bad shot or something, like I kind of know what I did wrong or whatever. And but I still have the confidence in them. You know what I mean? I still feel like, okay, yeah, I still know what I'm getting with this.
Yes.
I have none of that with my driver. I mean, absolutely none of it. And when just a month and a half ago, I literally would have said that's the strongest part of my game right now. I'm hitting fairways, Alpha T. And I was, but now it feels like I don't know what I'm doing with it at all, period. So now I've got to talk to John Ross about go ahead and order this new driver, or maybe I need to sign up for I need to sign up for more lessons.
Maybe both. Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe it's not either or.
I would encourage everybody to go get fit, man. Go get fit. Find somebody reliable. I personally am going to recommend Matt, the golf doctor. Find somebody reliable who's not just going to look at your TrackMan numbers and just be like, "It's all right to me." Pick the ones you like. LB's laughing. I guess he has something to say about that.
And by the way, don't get with someone, and even with like lessons, like because this was my fear. And I talked about this before. Do not get with someone who will tweak the club to make up for a defect in your swing or in your game. No. Yes. Let the clubs be set. Like I just fix the swing, and then don't we're gonna close it a degree or two in to make sure that you can stop your slide. Like no, I don't want you doing that and not fixing what I do. Let's fix what I do, and then let's do that.
Right, you mess around and get your swing corrected, and then they'd be like, "Oh, these clubs are all wrong. These are made for
exactly
holds the ball or something." Yeah,
exactly. You don't want to do any of that. Before we get to LB's visit to the golf doctor, Vern, let's talk a little bit about your driving. You're smoking it. You are. You are. Have you been texting JP, letting them know how you feel about
actually, as a matter of fact,
the ball?
I'm supposed to meet with him this week to get back into phase 2. I am going to let him know.
There's phase 2. Back up. There's phase 2 to this program.
Well, yeah. Well,
The
remember
JP program.
I said I was gonna jump back in and start working on like refinement. So the first phase is raw speed, and then this would be like dialing in ball speed.
Okay.
You're getting more accurate, finding the face, blah blah blah. Yeah, I am gonna hit him up, Claude. Yeah, for those. So I'm gonna say after again, you guys weren't there. So my brother-in-law Glenn has birthday. Shout out to Glenn, happy 33rd.
Taurus.
We're going to get to you showing off at Top Golf.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just letting people know. I was at Top Golf yesterday, following up what I did at Heritage. So at Heritage Oak, I was bombing the ball intentionally. Usually in the round, the thing that shocked me was usually in the rounds are I'll get one. Right, I get one. Oh, and actually, shout out to Claude, 291-yard drive at Falls Road, LB. So just so
okay, all right,
yeah, exactly.
A little bit.
I'm trying to keep up. Okay.
Don't sound so disappointed.
I mean, I said I felt lost, but I could if I catch it, I'll catch it.
Yeah.
But Vern on that same drive though hit it 305.
305. Yeah.
Now let me say this though.
What was that?
Vern's 305 is not the story of that hole.
Okay.
Because he's got his speed training. We're expecting him to do that. So we're happy about his 305. It's great that he got the 305.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
My 291 is the story of that hole,
It's
right?
unexpected.
Because it's not expected, right? And it's like, okay, well, here we go.
Lightning
Steve Cooper was way back behind us somewhere. I don't know where he was all the way.
Because even I was surprised. Like when I saw how close Claude's ball was to mine, I was like, I probably didn't. I
said I got it.
Yes, I said I didn't get it. I must not have got it. And I said, we both did.
Dang.
But I was immediately happy for him. I was like, damn, look at him cracking off drives, and he should be. He's taller. I said the same thing to Glenn. But
it's physics. It's all physics.
It is physics. You guys are gonna catch up. But I am bombing it intentionally. So for those listening, if you have access to like the swing speed sticks, get them. Get yourself a program with somebody reliable. Start training because it does work. And aside from the raw speed, the thing I kept saying over and over again, the spatial awareness, like with me swinging in motion, that increased such that my sequencing is improved. And that's what you guys observed at Heritage, where I was able to dial up and hit three woods. I normally dig them into the ground. I'm able to hit all these shots much further. I don't know how much the audience cares about my bombing it, but basically it got to the point where I was able to do it reliable enough. So I hit 306 on the first hole. And so in my mind, I'm like, cool, that's my long drive for the day. Everything else would be like 250, 260, and blah, blah, blah. No, that's another. I hit like probably 4 other drives, 295. The one hole where we had the split fairway at the end and say, hey, there's trouble up there, 290.
Right.
In my mind, I'm like, I don't do it consistently. I'll take driver. I took driver and hit it straight into the
trouble,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. And so after that, on the back nine, I was like started obeying the speed and was cracking off the 3 wood and everything else. So I definitely hit that 250. Yeah. So I definitely encourage everybody to give them swing speed sticks. I am super psyched. And here's what I'm gonna say though. This is the end for anybody listening to this. This is the end of me talking about speed. So because what we've proven now is that I can do it, like you said, Claude. I can do it. Now the program works. Yeah. Now score. At least that's how I am. Like I told myself on the way home, I was like, okay.
Well, that was the Falls Road situation.
Yeah. And what Falls Road, Waverly, yeah. Because before it would be like, he could get one around and I would still focus on speed. No, I know how to do it intentionally now, especially after Topgolf. I can do it intentionally. So now can you score? Can you put up a low number? That's where I'm at right now. So that's where we need to get, which is why those who don't know, the Scotty Cameron is in the closet way.
I was going to say, you've got the new clubs in the bag.
Yes.
The new putter. The old putter's back in the bag.
The old Odyssey's back in the bag. Scotty hit the scissors ass in the closet. Just like, what was that? What did he do in The Last Dance? Scottie Pippen, he wanted to quit the team, get the surgery. That's where Scotty is right now. That's what Scotty is.
And they never return. They never return to the bag again.
Nope. I doubt it. Odyssey served me right.
After all the excitement and the personal design and the custom this and the money and the big reveal we did at 5 Iron.
Yeah, 5 Iron. That was trash.
In less than a year, it's back in the bag. No, it's not in the bag. It's in the closet.
It's in the closet.
It ain't even been a year, dude. It's been like 3 months.
I'm so happy to get it back. Utility closet. After that situation at Waverly, get out of here. I should have buried it then.
I'll give you $20 for it.
And you too can be the proud owner of a custom-made Scotty Cameron, custom-made for Vern's liking, but no longer in his bag. Now, Vern, here's my promise to you: is that when I'm not going to chance myself, but if you get into a golf slump, I'm going to play back this tape for you, man, to break you out of it.
Yeah.
Like, listen to the excitement in your voice.
I'm very excited.
Hope.
Yes.
I mean, the sun is rising over the horizon. I'm gonna play this for you to get you back into the mindset.
Please
so
do.
none of this. We won't go through the whole. I'm done with the game. All I need is golf. We won't. When I hear that, I'm going to play back this show for you, bro.
Okay, I'm with it.
You can hear encouragement into yourself.
I'm with it. I'm ready for. I think we're playing it. I told before we started taping. I told Claude we're playing a tournament with Sherm. He got me into the tournament by saying he wanted to stunt, and I was like, I want to stunt too. And this is before the last couple of days. So
right, exactly.
I'm really excited to go now. And I know Sherm doesn't listen to the podcast anymore, so I'm just but if you do, Sherm, I hope you're going to be on our team, so you will benefit from some real golfers. We'll be cracking off.
We're gonna be stunting.
Yeah, just bring your putter. Don't even leave your other irons in the car. Leave your clubs in the car.
Just bring your putter.
Bring your putter and get yourself a beer.
Yeah,
and then we'll ride along. You can ride with me and Claude.
And enjoy the
score. Yeah, he keeps score.
And enjoy the show. All right, LB goes to the golf doctor. Again, for those who missed the fitting episode, to go into detail would be ridiculous. And so just go back to listen to that show, LB's first fitting. We wanted him to go to the golf doctor to kind of get a second opinion to see if it would be the same and what the same result would be. Now, LB opted after his first fitting not to get any clubs because you didn't want to pay a lot of money for about a 5-yard difference or so. And if it wasn't going to make a dramatic difference, you're not doing it. And so coming up to it, I think LB and I were playing 9 holes with Manny at Northwest, and I'm saying, okay, golf doctor coming up. We're talking a little bit about it, and LB was like, maybe even if he could just tweak these clubs a little bit, like I could see him already finding alternatives to
alternatives of $1,500.
Yeah, I could already see him, and then but I even talked about, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just say, hey, my budget is this. Yeah. Fit me for what this is going to be for, for $500 or $800. You don't have to,
Yeah. If I had said that, he'd have been like, yeah. We're wasting our time here.
Let me say, for my purposes, all I wanted was to be right. I just wanted him. I didn't care if he didn't buy anything. I just wanted him to go in there. I knew he was going to go in there with LB Classic with his arms folded. I don't want nothing. This is dumb. And you're stupid and you suck. I don't like any of this.
Right.
I'm fine with that. If the golf doctor just said, cool, but here are these numbers, and I've proven to you that I can get you X, Y, and Z. So Claude, tell him I asked Claude to predict what he thought the experience was like. Tell him.
Right.
So my prediction was that LB would go in, like Vern said, like LB, he would go.
Mr. Negative. Go ahead. You can say it.
He would go in, kind of grumpy. And then anyway, but the golf doctor would meet every criteria that he wanted. He would show him all the numbers. He would show him where he's missing distance. He would give him different clubs, different shafts. LB would feel the difference and admit that it's all like everything you said about the golf doctor and these fittings, 100% right. The second fitting versus the first one is totally different. He can get me all the difference that I need, but he still wouldn't purchase the clubs. He still wouldn't buy anything. He'd still walk out and say, yeah, it was right, but I'm not paying the money for the clubs. Right. That's what I thought would happen. Okay. Lawrence Brooks, the floor is yours. What actually happened?
Okay, so I arrived at the golf doctor bright and early. I had the first appointment of the day with his. I think he starts at 8:30. So that was I had that appointment. So we get in there, pleasantries and all that stuff. He starts me with my own 7-iron, hitting into. Well, I warmed up first, then I took my 7-iron out. I think I had some pitching wedges or something, and then I started with the 7-iron, and he would just watch me swing. He didn't say much. He just kept hitting balls. So I probably hit 10, 15 balls.
Right.
And so once we did that, he stopped and we pulled up all the numbers, and he threw out a couple that were long, the aberrations, a couple that was longer than normal.
Yeah, the worst shots or the
and then he pulled exactly. So he gave me an average, and we pulled it and started. Then he went into those numbers and explained them all the way across the screen, and it probably was 10 and 11 columns of numbers, from launch angle to club speed, ball speed, tack path, face open, closed, what degrees was open, closed,
right? All the
spin rate, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So with the 7-iron, my spin rate, which really caught his eye, was over 8,000, and he was saying that number should be somewhere in the 4,000 this number, and mine was 8. So basically, what he said is, I always had a high ball flight.
Right.
And he asked me that. I told him and all that stuff. So he said, yeah, I can see that, because what happens, my ball basically goes, because I was hitting them so high.
Right.
My ball basically goes up, straight up, and then comes straight down, instead of taking a long,
like a longer arc out.
Exactly.
Out.
So instead of taking a long arc, and that's why I don't hit as long as I should. That's one of the reasons. So he said, what we're going to do is we're going to start with what he did. He started with the shafts. First, he found me a shaft that would do whatever he wanted it to do. And he was pretty cool. I like how he works about his whole methodology of how he did this, because he would just sit back. He would hand me a club and say, okay, hit this one. I never asked him. At no point did I say, what club is this? What shaft is this?
Right.
He would hand it to me and I would swing. He would hand it to me. He'd say, if I hit it 3 or 4 times, he didn't like it. He'd say, nope, I don't like that one. Give it to me. And he handed me something else.
That is also a golf DMV like kind of fitting principle. Like, don't go into the fittings being married to a
brand or whatever. Because he asked me, he said, is there a brand did you like? I said, nope, I don't care. Yep. I said, I don't care what it is, as long as it works. You know, here's
what I play, but you go to work, Doc. Whatever it is I'm good with. That's a golf DMV principle. Don't go in there telling them what you hit. Let him read.
So we went through, long and short, we went through all that process. Once he had a shaft that he felt comfortable with, and it was showing in the numbers, then because we did the same thing with the numbers. I would hit a bunch of balls with shaft X and shaft Y, shaft Z. We would look at the numbers. We would see the spin rate starting to come down. He got that to a good number, and then we started with the heads. And we went from, at the end, I asked him which ones that I hit. Excuse me. And I hit everything. I hit Titleist, I hit Ping, Callaways, which was Mizuno's. You name it, I hit it. Was nothing. No club was left over. So at the end of it, he had me. The end of the round, or the end of the session, I was in the Maverick Irons. What I fitted me for was the Maverick Irons. The Alpina shaft. It's a graphite shaft.
Yep.
The 873s. Got those, and then he was going to put the CP2 grips on them, and he also did a quick fitting at the end. When he saw my sand wedge, we got to talk about that pretty quickly. He said, well, what do you hit? How do you use it? And I like them mostly just around the green. I very seldom hit it from the fairway, and then I did a quick 2 or 3 swings on the impact board with my wedge, so he could see where I was actually bottoming out with my wedge. Right. And then he showed me the TaylorMade high toe wedge. It's designed by Phil Mickelson, for you that care. It's a pretty cool club. You should check it out. It's by TaylorMade. It's called the high toe. Really nice wedge. And so we looked at that. So at the end of all of that, he after the club is everything is done, and he says, okay, and he shows me the numbers. So my numbers, again, I was hitting, my spin rate was 8,000, over 8,000 when I started. When I got done, my spin rate was down to the 4,000s. My 5 iron, my 7 iron, which when I started, I'm ashamed to say, was like in 140 yards. I mean, I was barely getting 150, but I normally hit that outside. That is my 150 club. But for whatever reason that day, I was much more than 145 at the max, maybe a few 150. When he got done, my 7 iron, the fitted 7 iron, was going about 168, 170.
Okay.
Right. So
arms unfolded.
Yeah. So I mean, it's what it is. He did what he said he could do. Mm-hmm. And so he's over there doing something. At this point, I'm getting my stuff together, ready to leave. He comes over to me with an iPad, and he said, "Oh, so here's everything. This is here's
all the charges.
Oh yeah, here's everything. This is this, that, and the other." And he said, "Here's the total right here. The total was 1478. 1478 and 44 cents." Mm-hmm. And he said, what do you want to do? I said, here's a credit card. I think about it. I said, no, here's a debit card. I don't want to charge it.
Yeah. So now, question. How long was the fitting? Was it an hour and a half?
It's like an hour and a half. Actually, it's maybe a little bit over. Because like Vern, there were a couple guys came in, trying to get clubs, pick up gloves, drop off gloves. So he had a couple of little interruptions there. But they weren't long. I mean, total of the interruptions probably was 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5.
What a difference an hour and a half and 20 yards makes.
Yeah, I mean, 20. You can't argue with 20 yards.
No,
I mean, I cannot argue with 20 yards. And the fact that even then we did all the measurements for the grip, and we did the measurements for my clubs are actually going to be a 1/4 inch shorter than what I'm playing now. And so I mean, I've had that done like 20 years ago, and that guy reduced the shaft length as well. So I knew that part. I kind of had experience with that part, at least I should say. So yeah, and the funny part was, at least for me, so he had told me about this high toe thing, and when I got home, I didn't know I bought it. Let me say it that way. So when I got home,
so wait, he put it in the mix with all the clubs.
Yeah, it was in there. In the $1,400.
Then we talked about
the high toe was in there.
Put it in there.
But I didn't. At the time when he showed me the iPad, honestly, I didn't even really look at it. He just said $14. Here you go, pay it. Just charge. Let's go, do the thing. So when I got home, I was like, man, I should get that high toe wedge. So I'm going online looking for it, and I'm on different seeing where I can find it the cheapest price. I'm looking at this site and this site and that site, and there was something told me to check my receipt that he had sent me, and I did. I'm like, I'll be damned, it's right there. I already bought it.
The clubs, and he got the custom fitted clubs, and he got the daggone wedge.
So I just hope. Let me say it this way. I hope I feel half as good as Vern does about his when I get mine. I hope my confidence goes up. If I can get 50% of Vern's confidence that he has right now, I'm good. I'll be a happy camper.
I'm hoping for that too, bro, for you. Although I will say this, it would be funnier, however, if you didn't get that and you were mad and upset. It would be
good content for the show.
It would be a funny. Here's the question. Here's the question. What would be the funnier scenario? Right. Would it in another 2 weeks if LB is now riding high, love my clubs. Well, it'll have to be, I guess, another month and a half, maybe 2 months. Pinehurst. If at Pinehurst, after the Pinehurst trip, LB's got the confidence soaring. Everything's just great. The new clubs, golf track. I'm gonna pay for dinner for everybody. Let's go out, fellas. He's just. He's doing a big confidence. It's all good. But Vern's game took a dive a little bit, and now he's at the little.
And I'm just quiet.
And so now Vern's just quiet. LB's paying for dinner and drinks, but Vern doesn't even want to go. He's like, nah, I'm just going to pack up because, we leave tomorrow. So I'm just going to pack my stuff. Get ready to go. I'm going to stay
I'm not going to play the last round, guys. You guys play around by yourself.
You guys go ahead. So if would that twist of events be funnier than LB getting his clubs and being frustrated because he's not seeing the result?
Yes, it would be because it's unexpected. So the shift in LB being happy, positive guy, and me being here all angry, and it hasn't worked out like I thought it would. Yeah, that would actually be fun.
One final thing I'll say about the golf doctor, which I thought when he told me, I was like, okay, that's a pretty good idea, and I like that from a customer service perspective. Is that he told me when I get him, go play, go hit him, go to the range, get it all in. And 2 weeks later, after I've had him, then come back in, schedule to come back in for a tune-up, I guess. And he will double check everything, just lie angles if needed, or we'll take them through the paces basically, and do that all over again to make sure they actually are set specifically to me and everything is working well. So I thought that was a really good touch because it's nothing worse than you spend $1,400 and I'm still shanking it left and right. I don't know if it's me or the club. You know what I mean? So so I thought that's a good touch, and I'm definitely going to take him up on that for sure. And that way too, he can also measure so exactly how far you do hit those clubs because since you have new distances, hopefully you'll need to know that I don't hit this anymore, right? What your carry is compared to what it was before. So yeah.
And so the last thing I'll say about the fitting, and we can put it to bed, but it's basically everything you heard in that story is the reason I had him go out there at the commodity fitters, at the big places where they just want to get you in and get you out. The process is pretty like when you talk about more distance. Usually, and I've had this happen because I've done some fittings at some places I won't name. I get in there and they're just handing me clubs and looking at the swing speed and maybe the ball speed. Oh, it went up. Oh, yeah, look at that one. It went up. I think those are the one.
Right.
You go see the golf doctor. He didn't. Did he say anything to you about like? Oh,
nope. I never even looked at my swing speed or
Yeah.
my or the ball speed. He was more concerned with those other numbers.
Spin rate,
my spin rate,
Right.
the height that I was hitting the ball, my face angle, that kind of stuff. He was over. Those numbers were in the first couple columns. The ball, the
speed numbers,
the speed numbers, and all that stuff. He told me what they were when we started, but our concentration was everything on the right, which was ball flight, all that kind of stuff. Spinning. Yeah,
that's my point. When you go see a good fitter, they're going to know all the variables and where they can attack that with what shaft, as opposed to being like, well, you just got to get in the gym and swing faster.
Right.
I'll give you these lighter clubs. Like, no, that's not always the answer. So find somebody reliable, man. Find somebody reliable.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I remember when with the driver fitting with John Ross, he had mentioned that about my current driver being a little light. He was like, now, I don't think you need a lighter driver. You know what I mean? He said, we're going to go. We talked all about this and the weight with the ball and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, that's because to me, it would seem like, well, yeah, I could swing that one faster because it's lighter. We're not talking, don't worry about that. So shout out to all the good fitters out there. Speaking of the good fitters, so when LB made that suggestion about wedges, it was because I said I needed to buy some new wedges because I, being a genius. So when I took my old irons to trade them in or whatever, I took my 52-degree wedge and my 56-degree wedge. So I'm going to take these two because the 56 I don't really play with too much, and 52. I mean, there was some times that but anyway, I just said I don't need them. I'm not going to use them. So anyway, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's just. And so now the lowest lofted shaft I have, my lowest is my approach wedge. And so it's hard to make that club stop when you're chipping from close.
Now, before you did this, had you ever, prior to this, was your approach wedge in your wedge game at all? Were you chipping and doing short game stuff?
No, before I bought these new clubs, I never had an approach wedge.
Oh, okay, cool. So you got rid of the things that you had been using for a while and adopted this new thing that you had never hit before.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Keep going.
That's exactly what I decided to do. So I traded in. I'm feeling good, and yeah, I mean, just obvious. It like the chipping. The issue was what those wedges would do, stopping on the green. We needed to stop. Of course, the approach was close to the green when I'm chipping it up over sand trap or over. We're hitting it on the green and just running because it's not made to stop. You go, and so now I don't have any wedges in my bag. Outside of my my approach wedge, don't have the 56. I don't have the 52 because I decided to trade it in. And so I told Vern that Friday, when we were at Falls Road, the predicament that I put myself in. and so what I decided to do is say, I'm going to get some wedges before we hit tomorrow. Like I can't do this. I'm going to go get some wedges before we go to Heritage Joe's because this is ridiculous. Like I'm chipping the ball on the green and it's running because I'm hitting with a stupid approach as well. So anyway, the next day Vern says, "Did you go get those wedges?" When we
full well that he did not.
Right.
I did not. I didn't get them.
I know he did
because now I'm afraid to do anything equipment-wise unless John Ross tells me to do it. I don't want to buy. Like I was going to go like, what if, like you said, what if? Because even with my driver, he was like, we want to take it down about the length that you're playing. We're taking it down about quarter inch. So there's all these adjustments, and I don't want to buy some wedges
off the rack
and take them there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he's like, I don't know why you bought these dudes. Like this is not, you know what I mean? And so now I'm shafted. So anyway, John was trying to see if I can get, I'm wedgeless. So John was trying to see if I could get in this upcoming Wednesday, and I can't. I just can't. And so then the week after, he's doing all these outdoor stuff and he's not sure if he can fit me in next week. So it may be 2 weeks from now before we can even get in and get these wedges.
Well, how about you just go back to the store and get what you traded in? Can you do that? At least have them. At least you know them. You've been using them.
He's not
gonna what I mean? I'm just saying.
And they're lefties, and so nobody's going to buy them.
Right, they're probably just sitting around anyway.
So maybe
the only problem is they probably don't charge you double.
Of course.
Well, see,
you want these back now.
Well, see, that's the thing. And so I don't even know how much they actually were worth because I traded them in with the iron set that with my old irons. So now it's like, I don't
be like, how bad you want it?
How bad do you want it? So I'm in that kind of predicament. So I don't know what to do. But I'm not going to do anything unless John Ross tell me to. But maybe I should go back and see if I can find a.
Your short. My argument for you to do it, man, is your short game was not that. Your chipping wasn't even something I thought about when playing with Claude. He was just going to get on near. Maybe you might duff one around or something. But for the most part, that touch around the greens was fine as far as I remember. LB, I don't know about you. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't care. But yeah. So
yours was trash for sure. Well, that much we knew.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fine.
It was. I mean, you're getting better. You're getting better.
It's true. Yeah. I'm trying. Yeah. But so that would be my argument for that, Claude, to just go get to, even if you could just get your old ones back, because at least they're functional. Even if it's not perfectly fitted, it's better than the approach wedge situation you got going on.
Nothing. It beats nothing. Yeah. Beats the hell out of nothing.
Because listen, at Falls Road, he looked like me, LB. He looked like me out there, like across the green and across the
back and forth.
Like,
yeah, man. I
mean, volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, because again, it won't stop. I can't stop. I was trying to open the club up more than I would. Like if I was in a sand trap, and it's like you can't. That club's not made to do that. So stop it. You know what I mean?
So,
it's like
for people listening, that imagine like the most positive person in your group, the most golf positive and thoughtful person in your group, just being checked out and angry. LB, I don't know if it's rare. It's rare for Claude. By the end of the round on Falls Road, he was like already like a whole 16. He was done. He was checked out. He was very. He wasn't talking much. I was like, oh, look at this. Never seen this before. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
maybe I should text Steve Crouppen and apologize for it.
Yeah. Oh no.
For your behavior.
I know his behavior was fine, but it was just rare to see. This is the life of the round. He just kind of like, yeah, whatever, man. I ain't care about this. I was like trying to talk to him about golf, and he's like, yeah, don't talk to me about golf, you jerk. So yeah, go get your wedges back. Go get the wedges back, bro. Yeah.
I have one more fitting story, and then that's real quick. So my wife and I were at dinner the next night, Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And so we were sitting there, conversation kind of died down. So I said, baby, I bought something yesterday. And she just put her head down. She said, how much is it? I said, well, it's more than $1 and less than 10,000. She just said, just spill it. What'd you buy? I said, I bought new golf clubs. She said, how much? I said, $1,500. She said, oh, okay, that's good. She said, because I was worried you bought a new motorcycle or something.
Oh, well, there you go.
Cool. There you go. Yeah. Deal. I'm like, oh, perfect. More drinks, please.
Bartender, fill us up. Oh, man. Another round. No, that's great. That's great. So real quick before we get to the Symmetric Chore and Vern showing off at Top Golf and get to the Manny Millions with the Valspar. Speaking of Manny, he had his PGA Jr match number 2. His team won their first game, even though he fell a half point short in his personal match. The team won in week 1. Week 2, we're at Paint Branch. They're playing against the team from Henson Creek. Manny's team is short 2 players. Like 2 players didn't come. Mm-hmm. And so what the coach's strategy was, 2 of my best players are going to play by themselves. And then the other 4 will be split into 2 groups of 2s and play against the other. So, but, when you do that, you're playing, 2-man scramble, best ball. Mm-hmm. But if you're the only player, you don't hit 2, you hit 1. And you've got to play on your own.
So it's just stroke play for you, basically.
Exactly.
Wow.
Manny, according to the coach, is the second best player on the team. Uh-huh. There's another kid on there. I think his name is Jaden, who's about 12, but a big kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so Jaden had to play his match by himself with 2 others, and Manny had to play his match against 2 others.
Against 2 kids.
Against 2 kids, wow. Right. And so one boy was a boy. And they get me with this every week. No matter what, here's the thing. When your kids play sports, if you even seem to be an interested dad, they're going to get you to volunteer to do things. Mm-hmm. And so ever since the thing started, I've been taking score for Manny's group. Those 4 kids, I'm the scorekeeper every single week, because all the other parents, there's some parents who don't even walk the course with their kids.
They
just get out the car and they go get
they either drive off or they sit in the car. Yeah, and I'm like, y'all don't even want to watch your kids.
Hey, look at this.
But at least they never get asked to do anything. I'm sorry, what was that?
Kid around, I'm saying, looking at you like, hey, this guy's following his kid around. He cares about his kid. Get him to do something.
Right? No, exactly.
This is amazing.
Well, Manny left his ball marker in the car or something. Right. So I went back to the car right when they were about to sign all the stuff. And I walked back and Sierra's holding the scorecard. And she was like, they were calling for you. They said, and Mr. Jennings is going to do group 2. And it was like, they didn't even ask if I was going to volunteer. They said, Mr. Jennings. So anyway, and I'll have to do it. So Manny was the representative for the Paint Branch team. This 12-year-old boy named Kent was for Henson Creek, and a 10-year-old girl, or maybe she was 9. I think her name was Caitlin. And so here's Manny, 8. He's playing against 12-year-old Kent, 9-year-old Caitlin. So the match is 6 holes. Manny won 3 of them, tied 2 of them, and lost 1. Okay. And so he won his match for his team.
He did.
Wow.
I mean, he played the round of his life. I think outside of 1 hole, he drove every green, and outside of 3 holes, he 2-putted. I mean, bang, 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 in. Right. Bang, 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 in. Bang, bang, bang. I was like, what is this boy doing? The coach from Henson Creek and we started to follow, like, they're supposed to check on all the groups. They started following around, just wanting to see what he was going to do. The Henson Creek guy, like, can you bring him down can we steal him from Paint Branch? I couldn't have been more proud. I mean, I would have been proud one way or the other. I was proud the first week that he played. Yeah. But he wasn't really, the scrimmage, he was focused around week 1. He was kind of, but not really. He was dialed in all the way. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because he felt like he had to be, Now, so the 12-year-old guy, Kent, he wasn't really good. I mean, those kids couldn't hit the balls like straight for the most part. Now, Caitlin was okay. Mm-hmm. Apparently, her family's a military family, and so she picked up golf in Arizona when they were living there. Okay, and so you talk to some of the parents and stuff. The involved, the ones that come out, the ones who actually care about their kids, and don't want their kids walking around this golf course for 2 hours with some adults that they don't know. Right. The ones who actually want to be present. So anyway, so you learn a little bit about them, and yeah, man, she was pretty good. But man, I mean, he was on after he's driving the greens. And he's 2-putting. And it was like, but it reminds me of what Vern said, when we were playing, I think we were at Falls Road when you said this. It's like, after your drive, everything from there, you need to play like a par 3. And that should be the mindset. And that, and so when I was seeing him do that, it's like, because they're not teeing off from the tee boxes. The tee boxes are further up in the fairway. They're hitting, like the furthest holes for Manny were like 125 yards or something like that. Right. And then some of the closer ones may have been 80 or something like that. But it's like, that's our mindset, that off the tee, if I'm 150 in, I think LB may have just mentioned 2 years ago, hit the 150 marker, 150 on the green, 2-putt. Yep. Like that's the approach. You know what I mean? And if your short game is good and you hit it to the left or the right of the green, scramble. You know what I mean? Get it on and let's go out. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it sounds so easy. Right. I mean, so easy a freaking 8-year-old could do it. You know who can't? His father. Put me 125 from the green. You think I'm going up, I'm going bang, boom, boom, in, out? No, I'm not. Like, I'm not. And why? I don't know. Manny's doing it. 125 out. Driver on the green. 2-putt. He's out. Me, 125 from the green, duff it 80 yards or hit it over to the left. Yeah. Then I got a chip and I duff the chip and chip. I don't like, why did this happen? I don't.
Because you gave up your wedges.
Because I don't have any wedges to even hit 125 away from. Oh, man. All right. So anyway, now to the Manny Millions Valspar. Sam Burns, first time winner on tour. Apparently, Keegan Bradley
imploded.
He's a really nervous guy, by the way. He does this whole Twitch thing. Oh, he used to do it a lot when he played early in the career.
I call him Tweak. When that Tweak that's Tweak from South Park.
South Park, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kept calling him that all weekend. I was in a restaurant. I kept calling him that. People looking at me like, that's offensive. Yeah, whatever. He's Tweak.
He still said though, quote, this is the best he's felt, I think, since his last win, I think in 2018 or whatever, or when he won the BMW. So
Keegan's been playing pretty good this season.
Yeah, just popped up out of nowhere, it seemed.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah. We're going straight to Manny Million?
Yeah, let's do it because I don't have anything really about this.
Yeah.
I will say that I usually look forward to the Innisbrook, to the Valspar joint, but for some reason this year I was checked out. I didn't really.
Yeah, there's too many things going on this weekend. So this week's Manny Million is Mr. Keith Mitchell, who finished at +9. He went +11 on Sunday.
Ooh.
That's not going to work.
Nah. Wow. That's why he's in last place, because he went +11 on Sunday. Come on,
11. Dude. Somebody who just missed the cut was blown. Like,
right. Just blown. So he got $14,283. Mr. Keith Mitchell is 6 foot 185 pounds, 29 years old. University of Georgia graduate in 2014 with a business and real estate degree. He was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and currently lives in St. Simons Island in Georgia. He is single, ladies. So if you're available, check him out. Here we go. So he went pro in 2014, but he spent some time at the Korn Ferry Tour. So he didn't join the PGA Tour until 2018.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Here we go. He's got one win, the 2019 Honda.
Okay.
1 second place, 1 third place, 9 top 10s. Out of 93 events, he's made 59 cuts. What is his career earnings?
Okay. I'm gonna go high here. I'm also, defending winner on this. And as of late, the most frequent winner. But I'm going to go high.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna go high on this. I'm going to go 18 million. Oh, I guess that's not really high, but I'm going to go 18.
That seems high to me. I'm gonna put him a little bit lower. I'm gonna put him at about 16 and a half.
Ooh, undercut. It almost has to be over 18 in order for me to win.
Yeah, and it's not. So you both are way over 5.6.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Way over. You said one.
You thought 5 million. That's why you went 16.5.
Don't call me on that.
just want to make sure it's not.
Move on. Tell me about this guy.
Yeah, 59 cuts, man. Come on. Yeah, that's 59 events. I mean, that's a lot. Okay, so a little bit about not a whole lot interesting about him. Yeah, you still won. One of the things his mother I thought was kind of cool. His mother, Cynthia, she plans girl trips around his tournaments with her best friends who have all known him his entire life. The members of the group call themselves the Entourage.
The Entourage. I like that.
I like it.
I bet they're fun to hang around because
they might be.
First of all, a mom who will plan her girls' trips around her son's golf tournament, shows number one, she supports him. She obviously, doesn't necessarily need to work, and because she can travel and do these girl trips, and that they probably like to have fun. But what takes it to another level is that they have a name for their group.
Right.
That's how you know that those ladies
they probably
know how to have a good time. Yeah.
So they travel to his tournaments every few months. They don't go to all of them, just every few months, and they wear matching hats.
LB, if we go to the memorial, we should see if the Entourage is going to
there.
be.
Okay. I thought you were about to say something else.
No, what do you think I was going to say?
We should holler at the Entourage.
No, that we should all wear matching hats.
No. If we go to the memorial, we should get a golf DMV interview with the Entourage.
Agreed.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. And I just realized something after you said it. I don't know how I haven't known this all this time we've been doing this show. So you make the cut, you can just do whatever the hell you want.
What do you mean?
Oh, because you're gonna get paid.
If you're cool with last place, the plus 11, you can just be like, oh, cool, made the cut.
Yeah, made the cut. Yeah, you can stake it up after that.
80, remember, if you have to play every tournament, but if you played every tournament and placed in the Manny Millions every tournament, you're making over $600,000.
Yeah. Like all the pressure's off you. I hit water. I hit another one.
You figure after taxes and travel. After taxes, travel, and caddy stuff, you're still going to bring home close to 3-something for whatever.
Mm-hmm. The 14,000. He should. Yeah, he's probably at least come on with $5,000-6,000. I would think at least half of that.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's enough about him. The other stuff I didn't think was very interesting. At least not to me.
You got some Symetra tours.
Yeah, Symetra tour. So I don't know how I got to this, but I did. The Symetra tour was in Garden City, Kansas, at the Buffalo Dunes Golf Club this past weekend.
Check that out.
Yeah. So the winner name was Leela VU. That's her last name. Okay. She was -8, won $26,500. Second place was Betty Wu, WU. I can't make this up. She lost by she was -7, so 1 stroke less than the winner. She won $16,526. Our friend and have been on these airways with us. Miss Shasta Averyhart was in the field. She finished T48 at +8. She won a whopping $780. So yeah, I did read a little bit more about this. So in 2 weeks, they're going to be the Sumatra Classic is going to be in Davidson, North Carolina, not too far from here for those who want to drive down and take a peek at it. And the top 10 at the season end from the Sumatra Tour get their cards to the LPGA. I could not find, at least in the brief time that I was able to look today, to see where the standings are as of today. But I do want to keep an eye on that to see where what's the other lady? I can't think. Alexis.
Oh yeah,
she didn't play in this particular tournament, but I want to see where her. I'll kind of keep an eye on her and.
Talk about Belton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alexis Belton. Okay. Yeah, Alexis Belton. Yeah, she wasn't in the field for this one. I know she does play in some of their Symmetra Tour events, yes. But I want to keep an eye on that so we can kind of monitor to see how Shasta and Alexis does as far as the top 10 to get into the LPGA next year.
That's right. Friends of the show. Didn't we give them Golf DMV face masks?
Yes, we gave them all face masks, and none of them I have seen yet to see.
Did we give Troy? Did we give Troy one as well?
Yes.
We might have to DM.
All of them.
We gave you a
Cassandra, Scary Mary. I ain't seen none of them on Instagram.
Well, I can tell you right now. Troy can say, don't even waste my time. Troy popular. You want me to wear what? Cool. Where's $10,000? Go ahead and sign that check. One time.
That's true. Send a check with a new mask.
I take one picture with your joke. That's $10,000. Thank you very much.
Man. She was at some point. She was like she was on the come up. So you're supposed to help pull people up, not crab barrel stuff. Things.
Not big time. Yeah.
We can do LPGA real quick
because I will say this: when Golf DMV makes it big time. Our buddies like Aaron and Reggie and all these guys, you know what I mean? And Jerry Boston, we won't big time them. Once we make it big, we'll still be able to hang around us and stuff.
And to peel back the curtain a little bit, for those who don't know, I book most of the guests on the show. And it's been a learning process, DMing people and seeing who responds and who doesn't. And I will say that as I've gone through it and, some people are silent or they give you the runaround or whatever, I don't take it like now I'm kind of like, this is, I'm not in the business, but this would be a part of the business. If you're a guest booker, it's no big deal. Now I'm 99% of me is like, that's no big deal. But there is 1% where I don't forget. Don't let us blow up. Don't let 980 come calling or say,
hey, can we go on y'all show?
We went,
remember that time?
Please you in after Aaron and Glenn and all these other who supported the show. Let me see. Maurice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Maurice Allen, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't take it personally all the way, but just a little
bit. Yeah. So like you say, we got elephants. We got long memories.
Yeah.
Long memories. Some LPGA.
LPGA. I am sorry, and I apologize to the LPGA. I got to see very little to none of the tournament, and it was on mostly in prime time, but it was just a rough week.
Singapore,
I was going to bed early. Yeah, because we went to what's the name? I went to bed at 8:00 that night, so I could be ready to get up to go to Heritage Oaks. So the lady who won, Ho-Jo Kim, at least how you pronounce her name, she finished at minus 17, $240,000. I had nicknamed her the Mummy. Because did y'all see the?
Because she had all the stuff kind of wrapped around.
I never saw her face until the trophy ceremony. Because she had. Oh, you didn't see it, Vern?
No.
Oh, so she has this. I guess it's for the sun. I mean, I'm assuming it's to block the sun and everything. Ho-Jo Kim.
Okay.
Only thing she has a hat on. Just down to her eyebrows. She has this mask on, was just under her eyes. So, and she got sunglasses on. So there's no skin exposed. The only skin is exposed, I think, was on her, whatever hand was free. And you could see her ears.
Right.
Everything else you could not see.
Yeah.
She was completely covered. So
wrapped up.
Yeah. And I shouldn't make fun of her because when I move to Florida, I might have to wear one of them myself because the sun is kicking my behind.
If you do, please send us a picture and post it on Instagram.
So one of the quotes I heard the first day, I did see a little bit of it, in MB Park. So her husband was on her bag this weekend.
Okay.
And they was interviewing her and they asked her, how do you like having your husband on the bag? Yada, yada. And she said, oh, it's fine. I don't need him to do anything. Just carry the bag. He ain't reading no putts. He's not doing anything. Just carry the bag.
Yeah.
Hand me the 9-iron. You know,
Indy Park, by the way, one of the she ain't lying. I mean, she's one of the greats. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, what does she need him to
That
tell
is
her?
the best. What I would love to, what I really
She was
would
probably
love
like,
to see-
"You're not working right now because you're not working because what I do. So
Right.
you gonna get out here and you're gonna carry this, but you're gonna do something."
Yeah. What I would prefer to see is to just have somebody out there with just a mule, just carrying them. And they just hit it and go to the next hole. They got bells on it.
Go and the move all along.
Have a little stick with a carrot in front of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then say, well, my cat was gonna be my husband, but this mule is more effective.
This mule is
Exactly.
exactly.
Cheaper,
He does a
too.
better job. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to pay the mule. Like, what is a mule going to 50% of the money?
Right.
that I made?
Exactly.
Give him some apples.
Yeah.
So Hannah Green, she came in second place. She had to lead and she bogeyed 17 and 18 to lose. She had to lead going into 16 and she bogeyed going into 17 and she bogeyed 17 and 18. So you got to close. I mean, you just got to close.
Yeah.
So she ended up with $149,000. MB Park and Patty T. Patty T was back on TV. I did see a little bit of her. They finished, her and MB Park finished third, tied for third at $86,000. The Moria Jachanagarn, see, I said it, -7. She got $22,000. Area Jachanagarn got 15,000 at -4. And Daniel Kane still got some work to do. She finished at +5. $4,266. So they play one more round, I think, out in Asia, and then Thailand, they come back here. Next, then they come back here for the Williamsburg. I think that's their first tournament back stateside at the end of this month. So that's your LPGA and Symetra Tour update.
Nice. Golf DMV, by the way, brought to you in part by Cache Spine Sports. Go to our website, golfdmv.com. You can find more information. Dr. Smith, before we got to get out of here, Vern, showing off yesterday being Sunday as we record on a Monday night at Top Golf. Shout out to Glenn celebrating his birthday
33rd,
at Top Golf, hanging out. I'm sorry, what was that?
He's a Taurus. I'm just highlighting Taurus. It's a Taurus month. Somebody else in this podcast is also a Taurus.
That would be Lawrence.
His birthday's on the 16th. So if you want to send stuff to the email or mail it to us or whatever.
Got you a fitting, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you $85.
Somebody.
Who do I cash up for that?
Yeah,
do I cash up Lawrence directly?
Yeah, you do that directly, right?
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to, you can just make it a whole for the whole 1,500.
I mean, we pay for the information. You chose to buy. I didn't.
Anybody tell you buy no clubs? I thought you weren't going to buy no clubs.
I was right about the info. So we were at Top Golf in Oxon Hill yesterday, really quick, and it's just a good time, man. If you're not really into golf, do go to Top Golf with your homies and your friends. You can book ahead of time now. I mean, this isn't a plug for Top Golf, but drinks, food. The food is actually it's as good as I remember LB, and maybe even a little bit better at the Oxon Hill one. It was pretty good, but there is nothing like being. And LB was asking me about this. Because you have an event coming up.
Yeah,
right?
I got one coming on the 15th. I'll be there for a similar birthday event.
And he's like, "Should I bring my clubs? I'm going to be the only golfer." And I was like, "I think you have to." He's like, "Oh, there's pressure on you to do it," and that may happen. There may be pressure because you're the real golfer,
right?
So
yeah,
I think Glenn called them my fan club. There was in the stall next to us. People saw me hitting, and and this happens in the range sometimes too. When you start hitting, and people are looking at you.
Yeah, they hear that sound that your club make a sound that nobody else's club make. Yep.
Except here, they're talking openly, and I can hear them. It's like, hey, watch my man hit the joint. So now I'm like, now they're looking,
and you hear it, but trying to act like you don't hear it. And what you're doing, it ain't nothing.
I'm playing it super cool, just like I just play sometimes, just whatever. Yeah, and then
they don't know that these clubs you got these custom fitted irons,
but I'm hitting 3-wood and driver. And I'm just like at Heritage, I'm smanging these Jones, bro. I'm smanging them because now I'm on the range. And so I'm like, the thing that I was doing at Heritage, carefully, fairway. I was like, let's just try this sequence of motion all out. And I'll say, and Glenn can back me up on this, I was probably 85% up the way of the net.
Okay, in the back.
Yeah. I'm talking about like height. Yeah. So there were a couple that looked like they were going to get over. And I was doing this with the 3-wood. So after a while, after they start cheering you on,
right? Then, couple drinks in you.
Well, see, no, I had a second shot, so I was only drinking Powerade. I was the only one there who was sober. Thank you.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I had to hydrate.
Yeah.
I had to function today.
Right.
But LB, you remember when to Jamaica and Glenn and his homie went golfing in the heat?
Yeah.
Paul brother.
Yeah.
Taz was there. So Taz is drinking. So like, so Claude, I'm just smacking. I got my fan club going. They're like, yeah, I want to be like my man. They're hitting and we laughing. And he hits a shot and he's like, oh, he hits a shot. And then he takes credit for one of mine. Like, oh, he hit that. And it was like, yeah, I'm the beast. So now, again, all with the 3-wood. But then Taz does something. He again, I'm doing fine. Everything's going great. Taz is like, hey, I noticed your ball speed is 149. You don't want that 150? So I'm like, oh, so now I have something to chase. Now I really start going in. Hit left, hit right, because I'm like, oh, I got to get 150 for no reason. I've been doing fine. Just keep hitting with no. Now drunk people are telling me to do a thing, so I have to do it.
Drunk people,
Exactly.
You
so
gotta do it.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Hey, basically. And I did dance, and thankfully I got 151, and I got 150 with the 3-wood. But
nice.
It was, again, like I said at the top of the show, I won't talk about the distance anymore. This was a continuation of Heritage. I mean, I was cracking off. I wanted to go play golf immediately.
Right.
Yeah, like top of the net jumps. And these, Top Golf, the balls I think are a little bit dead, and they try to keep them in. People are gonna try to hit them out. Yeah. No, I want to get I almost wanted to take one of my balls out of my bag. And see if I could get hit it over the net. It's how well I was hitting that 3-wood, the 3-wood and the driver. So please, Friday, no rain. I want to try to play Friday. I don't want any rain, so I can go out and do something at either Little Bennett or Timbers Detroit, whichever LB selects. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I already selected Little Bennett, but we'll see.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And I like Little Bennett. Yeah.
And if it happens, folks, we'll report back next week on Golf DMV. Until next time, folks, get that fitting and play some golf, man.
That's right.